Hang on, hang on. Wait a minute. Is this gonna work? Is this gonna work?
Hey, Mr. Schnee, how are you?
No, Mr. Henry.
Can you hear me?
Mr. Schnee is
Yeah, just checking to see, like, you had some, not feedback, but echoing at the beginning. But now you're okay. You're good now. You're good now.
Good evening. Good
Yeah.
evening. How are you doing?
Good. You know Stephen Schnee?
Nah, that dude there I've seen on who don't know Ray. I think I've seen the last guy on Record Crate. Like just
this
in
guy?
chat.
That guy? Okay.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, look, and there's Gwendy. She's one of my biggest fans. Hi, Gwendy. She hopes we're doing well. Hey. But this is a real treat because I've wanted to have you on for a long time and bring some stuff on and show us.
Well, I can start right here. Look at I got me and Harry Might here, so
But
the dummy.
shouldn't there be two?
Mm-mm. There's a woman called the Nurse Flipper. I had one, and she's seen it, and I had said if I ever found the other one, I'd send one to her, and I didn't think she'd hold me to it. Well, she did, so I had to send it to her. So now it's in Florida, getting freckles in the sun.
So the twins have been separated.
Yeah, this is the original.
Okay.
I'm sure I can find one again.
Okay, that's supposed to be Jerry Mahoney, I think, right?
Charlie McCarthy.
Let's make him big here. Bang. Okay. It's Charlie McCarthy, right?
That is Charlie McCarthy.
Okay. So I think he's missing the top hat. That's what's throwing him off.
Yeah, he had the
and the monocle.
So
Yeah.
this is the older one, and one if you looked at you watch a lot of my videos. I got it at a estate sale. I went down the basement. It was laying on the floor. So it cost me $10. This one was like 20 or something years ago at a flea market. So I just grabbed it. Are there collectors in here or just a little bit of everything?
Well, a little bit of everything. Invisible Ray wants to know if he comes to life at night.
Not yet. We'll wait.
They chain him down after dark.
So we'll see if that happens. Nothing freaky has ever happened in this basement. I've got many old things. So it just never ends, you guys. From have a nice day, McCoy cookie jars.
Cool. Yes. Walmart would love that.
It might have been sold at Kmart at one time. I don't know how old Kmart is or Sears. If you can see, there's the original Attack Urban Assault Vehicle G.I. Joes with the fuzz heads.
Ooh.
There. Thermometers, Hot Wheels behind me.
He's got everything.
Oh my God. I could sit here all night and show things. Here's something cool. You don't say. That's actually a beer can. These are very desirable. These are called cone top beer cans.
Yeah.
Canadians had them too, and you guys can still dig them up. And for some reason, in parts of Canada, you can dig them up and they're in good shape.
Wow.
And some of them, even with a hole in it, can still be worth a couple $100.
Oh yeah, but you put the hole in it to kind of drain it though.
I'm talking about a rusty hole that it rusted out. But if it's a rare one, things are still worth a lot of money.
Oh, look, Stephen loves all that stuff. Yeah.
I have the stuff.
Yeah.
He's an album guy, so look, I this is stuff around. That's a green Capitol, the second printing of the Capitol.
Oh, the green target label.
American version might have been Canada. I don't know what Canada was sent when the Beatles were going and taking over the world. Because Capitol had different, Britain had their own stuff come out on EMI, and then the US had their own versions. They were close. It was Meet the Beatles with the Beatles. There was a Beatles second album that was the early Beatles over there. So there's all kinds of funky stuff.
Let's just decide to Tom Atlantis, don't look at me. I'm retired. I don't do that sort of thing anymore. And I hope somebody is taking care of you guys right now, too. I know it's been a couple weeks, but hope you guys are doing okay. See, people I used to work with. Here I'm going to show you something here. Look at
There you
this.
go.
Actually, I should have made myself big while I'm at it here. It's a Looney Tunes cookie jar. Cookie jar.
What's on the bottom?
It's heavy, too. Okay.
Oh, okay.
There you go. It's from about 1995, I think. 1990, sorry, 1990.
The old barcode is when you can tell.
Yeah, I believe it's for Bugs Bunny's 50th anniversary. That would be 1990. So a nice heavy cookie jar with all the Warner Brothers characters on it, all in relief, all painted and all such. Very nice. But I looked for that on eBay and stuff, and doesn't seem to be around. Like, boy, did I get something there. So, I don't know whether I've got a real collectible or not. Maybe.
It's a Looney Tunes canister or is it a cookie jar?
It's a cookie jar.
Ceramic, right?
Yeah, it's heavy too. Yes.
There you go.
So
I have to look it up. Blue.
Last I heard, I tried to show this thing and somebody went off on some collectible site. They said, "Oh, I see one. It's worth about $100."
Well, there you go. That's a good deal. Now,
Yeah.
if I see one at a yard sale, I'm going to have one in my collection.
Oh no! I thought I'd have the only one.
Well, I'll sell it. I won't keep it. Just like these McCoys. I think I bought 6 of them. I've got a couple left. I've sold 1. So
Now, what happened exactly with that cash register that you were going to get, and then all of a sudden?
that sold.
That,
That was I got the Coke stuff instead. The cases of Coke, cash register. I should have got it, but sometimes you overthink things, and I would have had to drive an hour and a half away to pick it up, and that kind of threw me off a little bit. Not that that does that much, because I drove 2.5 hours for all those Coleman lanterns. So
yeah, but I understand that cash register was like so heavy you needed 2 people to move it.
oh yeah, I asked them. I said, "Do you have help to put it in my van?" But this thing was a monster. But it was sweet. Everything worked. Drawer popped out. Numbers all came up. It was wood, and of course steel. I know it was over 100 pounds.
Yeah, it looked like it was made out of wood.
Yeah, it was. That's the best looking one I've seen, and it was $100. So, but I just thought to myself, where am I going to put this thing? And every time I had to move it around, my wife's going to yell at me, because I was going to put it on. I got one of those old, what do they call it, chopping blocks, or those big meat blocks that butchers have out of wood. They're huge.
Oh, yeah.
They weigh 3,000 pounds too. Well, to put one of them on top, put that on top of there would have been cool looking. But after a couple months, my wife would have said, "You know what? This doesn't go with our decor." So there I go, taking it down to the basement with everything else that's down here.
Yeah, so instead of taking the cash register, you decided on these cases of old Coke bottles.
Well, I'd have grabbed those. They weren't far away, and that was a great grab. $5 a piece for a crate. So one of them, they can go up to $80. Those the yellow ones. Let me show you. Hold on one second, so they can see what we're talking about.
And we'll pause for these station identification. Yeah. What's this? Let me borrow your message. I don't think so. Oh, Tom. How's Grandpa doing anyway? Tell Grandpa I said hi. Said,
So
yeah.
this here, that's when all those bottles came with it too. But this is a good crate, and it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's original. It's got all its cubbies. And I got 6 crates, and 3 crates were full of those bottles.
Yeah,
And
you
I
had
told-
you had 3 crates full of bottles.
Yeah, so I got over, what is there, 72 bottles or something?
Yeah. And saying each one came from a different city.
Yeah, but that's the tricky part. They used to, and the originals do. They're not originals. They were put out in '89, which I learned later in the chat. You know, when people comment, somebody says, well, they remade those in '89. So then I did the little studying and found out I got the '89 one. So still collectible. Might be $1, $2 a piece instead of $10 to $30 a piece.
Well, I'm actually kind of shocked because I thought they were all original bottles from like 1930 or something.
In '89, if you look on eBay and go Christmas Cokes, you'll see 6-packs of them coming up.
No kidding.
That are full with the caps on them. So, and they're not selling. So they're about $1 a piece.
Now, did you happen to go through them and see if there were any Detroit, Michigans in there?
I don't think that. I think there is a Detroit, Michigan.
Ooh.
Is that where you're at?
Yeah, basically, yeah. I'm on the Canadian side of Detroit.
And that's called Hamilton, right? Are you
No,
from Hamilton?
no. If you know where Detroit is, basically that's where I'm at. So, like, I can look out my front window in Canada and see Detroit.
All right.
I could walk to Detroit right now, but there's a river in the way. Kind of
Right.
It kind of
And
gets.
you guys used to float stuff to us when we weren't allowed to have it anymore. And that's where they smuggled it all in that area.
Oh yes, this used to be a big smuggling town for hooch. Back in the 20s and stuff. Yeah.
I've never come over that way. I always came when I'd come up. We'd come across Niagara Falls in that area.
Yeah.
And come into Ontario and stuff. But that took too long, so that I puddle jumped up there every time.
Yeah. Well, I'm at the other end of that piece of Ontario. So like
if it isn't COVID, you can come over to Detroit, and if you wanted to buy American goods, you can just come in that way.
if it weren't for COVID, I would.
Well, next year.
And now that I'm retired, I got all the time in the world to go American shopping, but the border is closed because they don't want COVID crossing the border back and forth, right?
Right.
So,
yep.
And it's been like that since last March, which is going on almost a year now.
I got buddies that hunt in Canada, and they're not going to go. Even probably, I guess they went in October's is when they go up there. So they didn't go to last year, and probably going to be one more year.
Well, I don't think they're going to open the border anytime soon. They always put it off another month. You know, like, oh, we'll try for March something, and then when we're going to leave it closed for another month, and now it's almost been a year already with no end in sight anyhow. So
they better do something because you can't protect everybody forever.
Well, that's true, but like they're getting the vaccines out.
Yeah.
And if everybody would just wear the masks and do what we're supposed to do, wash your hands, all that kind of stuff, but people are not really doing that.
Well, people want they want their liberty to have the choice, and that's their right. I mean, you can get mad. Some people will get mad, and some people won't. I work at a hospital where I have to wear it, and I've been in those rooms a ton of times. My daughter had it. She had a very mild case. All the young people, it's not affecting. I know there's one or two cases that it does affect, but overall, it's very little. It's whacking the old people. That's what it's doing. It's a shame.
Yeah. Well, here we even had one elderly lady take the vaccine, and she died from side effects.
Right, and that's going to happen too. You got 3 of them out there now. There's a Pfizer, Johnson Johnson just put theirs out. Which if I get it, and I don't want it the first round. I want to let it go through everybody and see what happens in a year. I'll play my chance, but if I get it, it's going to be the Johnson one.
And what about the Moderna one?
I don't. Is that the one you have your choice between the Pfizer
And the Moderna.
That one. I don't.
Well, it's funny because the Pfizer one, when they said, okay, we got one, but we got to have it at like 60 below zero and all this kind of stuff. It was really weird how they had to keep the vaccine. And then Moderna comes out and, you don't need to refrigerate this one so much. It was a lot better in that respect. But I don't think it was quite as effective. I think that was the difference. So like it was easier storage, but not quite as effective. But I guess it all depends, right?
Yeah, I haven't put much mind into it. I kind of treat it as what it is. So from the get-go, I haven't paid. If you can talk about it all day, just like anything that's in the news. So I prefer to. It hasn't affected me. My daughter had it, but she's fine. The other 4, everybody else, I thought I had it. Had the thing up my nose. That's funky.
But you figure you're fine now. Like you've either avoided it or beat it.
Could have. I don't know. Really don't. I've had a cold, and that's why I thought I might have had it, and I was starting to get. So I got 3 tests, and all 3 of them were negative. I keep treasure hunting, and that's all I ever do. I go and I wear my mask, and a lot of people don't even have them on. If I go into Pennsylvania countryside, they don't wear them. They don't care. They don't even pay attention to it.
That's Amish country, isn't it?
Yep. That's where I get my gold. These are the glass insulators.
Right.
So I've got them that are from $1 on up to easily $1,000 for one. So, and I paid 2 for that. Yeah.
Well, it's no wonder my mother was going nuts over those things at one time.
You got some good ones up there. I've got a Montreal. I've got a Canadian Pacific. I got a Canadian. Some purple ones. A couple purple ones. They're cool. There's the 3 I know that you guys have.
But they don't make those anymore, right? Those things are like out of the past. They're not even used anymore, right?
They're ceramic.
Except maybe in Hooterville, you might find a few of those. But
old towns are still old railroad tracks. Pennsylvania's got, like, if you go on this mountain, some kind of mountain, they got a train that runs through there, and you'll see them poles up in the mountains still. So there was millions of them made. I mean, millions and millions, and just like anything else. But lots of them get busted. Now people are drawing holes in them, making them tea lights, and it's all fancy.
But I remember my mother having a table in the basement, and they were just like, what the heck are they're resistors and stuff. I'm going like, what are they used for? And they're at the top of the telephone poles. I'm going, really? Yeah. But all of a sudden they all disappeared. She must have sold them all, and she never got back into it.
When I was a kid, they were still coming off the pole and going up to a house, and there would be 2 or 3 of them right on the house. And then they would come in, and I think that's the old what's that called, the wire and tube or something. But you can't have that type of wiring in your house anymore. Everybody had to modernize. Or you have it still to sell your house, it's got to be taken out. You have to be up to code. So because my father still had it in his house a couple years ago when we sold his house.
Yeah, so maybe that's what made these resistors available. Is that they were taken down, and then like, what do we do with them? And then they probably ended up in boxes and such, because they are pretty heavy glass.
Yeah, some of them, like me, always collect, so I grab them. So
They become different shapes and colors. And
oh yeah, there's big ones. There's a lot of funky shapes and colors, and like I said, I got. Give me a second. I'll show you a Montreal and a couple other colors. There they are, right there. There's a pole with them on there. There's Patrick, and
bang.
I pulled the pole off the guy.
That poor Patrick is kind of stuck there, I think. Anyway, hey, we're talking with Harry Humstone. He's a collector and seller of antiques, and he's got a pretty cool channel. If you want to check him out, just type in Harry Humstone and check out all the adventures he has looking for stuff, such as.
Now here's a Montreal we was talking about. That's sweet.
That's purple.
That's purple.
Yeah, that looks like it belongs on a chess set.
Yeah, so here's a Canadian, another Canadian. This is what's this? Canadian Northwest Telephone Company. That's a beehive. That's pretty sweet too. Purple. Here's this was my crown jewel until this year. That's a cobalt blue one. That's a real one. So they're very hard to find. I found this at a yard sale and I walked up. He had a German radio. One of them, I forget what it's called. I says, "Does that work?" He says, "I don't know. Let's plug it in." It warmed right up and started playing. German radios are desirable. So I paid $20 for that. I said, "How much for the insulators?" He said, $1 a piece. So I grabbed that. I knew that was something. And I found out it was. So I've had $400 offered for it. No. So.
No, it's been a long time since I've had one of those glass insulators in my hand, but they used to have inscribing on the bottom, I think, right?
Yeah, this is like a petticoat. This is called a petticoat. This was HG Company petticoat, May 2nd, 1893.
Whoa.
These are drip points, those little points you see there. Something for the rain to go off properly.
Nice. But is there a company or anything that you say is a better one?
I forget who the heck. This is either Hemingway. I think this is Hemingway that made this. So that was the company name. This is a Gainer. That's who made that. So, and this is a AT&T and Company one there. So that's like a 7-Up green. They come desirable colors or everything. And my best one's like an amber gold. And I knew from looking at a box, from just a picture, I knew that I thought they were called diamonds. I thought that's what he had. And when I went out, I said, "How much do you want for these insulators?" They told me a price. I said, I want to say them, and I'm on my way. I knew there was something in that box. And oh, my God, beyond my wildest dreams, I didn't know how good of an insulator it was. But it's very desirable and very rare. So I found the Holy Grail.
But it's funny, those things should have belonged to the different railway companies, right?
They did. That's why they marked them different company colors and stuff. And guys used to go along that worked on these lines and bust these because people were climbing up and taking them because they were rare. And they were still in use at the time. So guys were going down the line and busting the bottoms out so guys wouldn't take them.
But it's funny that the railroad companies didn't claim them for themselves. He's like, "Hey, those are ours. You can't take those."
Well, there's a video I put out not too long ago where I went to a guy's house. I went in his shed, and he had those 5-gallon buckets, probably 500 buckets, just full of them, because the railroad place took out the old line, and they told he says, "I want those insulators." I said, "You can have them, but you got to take them all." He says, "I'll come get them." And he did. He had the barn to put them in. So, wow. I mean, I'm just looking in there. This is the largest collection I've ever seen in my life. And it was going up for auction, all of them, because the guy passed away and his father was selling all his stuff.
Wow. So if I was to say, "Hey, I'd like one of them glass insulator things," how much would you sell it to me for?
All different. I don't sell them, but you could
If
They're
they
not hard to
say, "Hey,
find.
that purple one," like how much would that purple one go for?
These
Yeah.
that there, I guess they're like about a $50 when they're not
Wow.
they're not broke up. If you eBay any of this stuff and put in Montreal, glass insulators, Montreal, and then look at the solds, you'll see what these are about selling for. When these aren't, I've seen these go for about 110 to 50 to about 110. This does have a damage on the bottom, so that makes this about a $50 one easily still, because these are hard to find. There's a guy on YouTube that you'll see was looking for these, but this part, he was in Canada. These were frozen, so they would pop in the ground from getting warm to frozen. He did find a whole one, and then he found the frozen one that popped, and he got it home and he put it back together. He glued it, and it looked good, but that's what he went out to look for, and he did find them.
But I suppose one that's been repaired isn't worth as much as an original never been damaged.
As a matter of fact, this probably, unless somebody on a good day, maybe 50, but I'm going to think probably about 25, because of that crack on the bottom really takes that value and plummets. I mean, because that's a bruise, and it's not a good bruise, so that takes the value down.
So how do you sell your stuff? Do you put them on eBay or put to ads in paper or
Facebook Marketplace and eBay? I do well on Facebook Marketplace, but eBay, like yesterday, I sold a Seiko digital watch from the 70s. I don't sell like the big sellers, but I do sell. I probably have 50.
Many times you'll say like, "Bang bang, I'm gonna make some money on this one."
But you'll see me say, because I have collections. I have insulators, red line Hot Wheels, the slot cars, teacups. I got a bunch of teacups, beer cans, and glass. I got a ton of glass here. This stuff here is they're called open salts, and I bought a whole bunch of these. I'm selling them slowly. It comes in all different, they're called salt cellars or open salts. This will glow if you put a light on it. It's Vaseline glass. That's all these stinking things here.
Wow.
And I got hundreds of them for $1 a piece. And this is even a sterling silver spoon that came in that.
Wow.
So, I mean, I have a ton of this crap. It's just different shapes, sizes. I want to sell it all, but it's slow. And I just sold 2 shoes for $26 or something. So this stuff, like this one here, people have seen it on my chats, and they go, "Oh wow, man, I'd love to have that," and stuff. There's the little spoon with it. It's not for cocaine or any silly stuff. It was for people of, I guess, class that used to collect that stuff or have the fancy dinners and stuff. There's the Beatles right there. That's cool.
Robert P. would like some Beatles stuff, I think. And he says eBay is hard these days.
I have Beatles stuff, but that is something that there's big monster collectibles for the Beatles stuff. I went to one of those Beatle Fest one time up in New York City.
Really?
If you're a Beatles fan, it goes to Chicago and it would come up New York City and probably LA. Well, COVID, of course, ruins everything. But Paul's brother was at this one. So they're 3-day events. And if you're a Beatles fan, it's like if you're a Muslim, you got to go to Mecca. Well, you better go to the Beatle Fest. So
I'd like to talk Robert into going with me. Let's share expenses, Robert.
No, the Beatle Fest, they're worth going because at the time videos were out, but like a lot of movies they would show you never seen. Now you'll see them on YouTube, but they would show like Let It Be, and that was hard to see. I remember one place had it on video, and that's it.
Oh, look, Robert used to set up at the
Oh, he
Chicago.
went. Okay.
Wow. Of course, back then he had a record store in the Detroit area. So like, even I was at his record store, and I didn't even know him at the time.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, there's some Beatle fans around here someplace. Oh yes.
They made my top number one band of all time. That kind of, I had the UK, my top UK 20, and they're like here, and then the rest of them come in like this way.
And
So,
they even beat out Josie and the Pussycats, huh?
absolutely.
Oh, jeez, that's a shame. Boy, I don't know the Josie and the Pussycats. They just don't get the respect they deserve. I don't know. Something's wrong there. Their records don't sell anymore, and they aren't on TV anymore. And the one movie that they put out, 25 years ago, just went.
That didn't do good.
I guess they just don't have the longevity.
They have a lunchbox out, so I'm sure that got a little bit of value to it. Who knows?
That might have been with the cartoons, perhaps.
Yeah, because that's a '70s cartoon, if I remember right. So that's kind of the spin-off of Serena and the Groovy Ghoulies and all.
Yeah, that was all the Archie Comics characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me, as you can tell, I like the Warner Brothers characters.
Yeah, you can see all the old
Looney Tunes. That's
the Looney Tunes you can see on YouTube, all the old uncut ones. So it's worth saying.
Robert P. recreates hard to find Beatles mini LP CDs. And I guess you won't mind if I get up and I can show you a couple. You can take them out. Some of Robert P.'s handiwork. Mind my sweatpants.
That's me.
Okay. Here, I'll show you some Robert P. stuff. Before I get into this, what did he say? He just worked with Paul and another guy in California to reproduce a Canadian butcher. Just came out. Wow. Anyway, sorry for the glare, but
Okay, there you go.
there's a little baby butcher cover there. Or maybe if I make myself big, you can see it better. There. Check that out. That's a Robert P. production. He made a little baby please in stereo. Yeah. And he made clothing himself. This amazing stuff. Yeah, these are just the covers. I've got the actual CDs in a harder case. That's a Yesterday and Today alternate cover.
That's the one I had when I bought it.
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
So like, I put them in harder covers to protect them. Showcase, but look what he does here. Look at that! Isn't that nice? It looks just like the real thing. That is fantastic stuff. And yeah, I'm wearing pants. Yes, of some sort. Yeah, but centered stereo. I forgot to mention. That's right. Centered stereo. So there's something new. And there we go. There's the green turbid label. There we go. Look at that.
That's the one I've got two Sergeant Peppers on that label. Just before we all went to Apple.
Wow. This is the Yesterday and Today with that on orange or red Target label. Centered stereo, all of them. What do we get? Another Yesterday and Today. This one on the Capital Retro Rainbow. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that is cool.
That is really cool. And he makes this all himself. Wow.
So you play those. You can play them.
Yeah, they're actual playable. Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're actual CDs. He does magical stuff doing this stuff. So thank you, Robert. Thank you. Okay.
And he's from Detroit.
He is from north of Detroit. He's
Okay.
Metro Detroit, I guess. Yeah. Oh, what's this? He says the rarest red target, the real one, is worth $3,000. Whoa.
Now, what year was that put out? Was that put out when they came back to Capitol? Was that when they were Capitol?
Oh, no, they never left Capitol.
Yeah, but those albums all came out as Apple for a while.
No. These are 1960s records.
Because when I started buying the old ones back, when the reissue, they all went to Apple Corps because I've got like early Beatles and all them. They're on Apple that I have.
Yes.
Because the very first when I bought Sgt. Pepper's, that came on the green Capitol label, and then all them later on became Apple. I do remember that, like the second album, the first.
Yeah, well, that would be after 1970.
The original released in the States were the Rainbow record.
Yeah, but these are more of their 1960s.
Oh, so that then it came out as a rare red Capitol. So I'll find one at the yard sale next year. Say, look at that.
Yeah, Robert says 1971 when they changed from Rainbow, then they switched to Apples.
Right. Okay.
And there's been different Capitol labels. There's been purple ones in the 1980s and that sort of thing. I'm not sure what they've got for records right now. I don't buy vinyl anymore. So
this one here, I'm pretty sure this is a green Capitol.
Okay.
Because I've got my Yesterday in the Day is an Apple. Because it was probably bought in 71 or 72.
Makes sense.
Because I remember the first Beatle album I got was First Grade, was Let It Be. It came out and I wanted it and I got it for my birthday. So that was with the red Apple, and on the back was the cut in half Apple.
Right.
That was a big thrill to me as I destroyed it over the years, and it's still there. But
and you said you were in the first grade. You said you were in the first grade.
Yeah, that 1970 was it. That they finally put out that album, and then they were done. That was because they did it and shelved it, and then they made Abbey Road, and then they put it out with Phil Spector, and it was then they all broke up, and sad day.
Now we can't even get the Let It Be movie out.
Now they're putting something together, and it's supposed to come out. They're calling it something sessions. I'm seeing bits and pieces on YouTube.
Yeah, that's the Get Back sessions. Yeah, they only made Red Target one day, scrapped them, and just used the Apple ones, I guess. Green Target was 68 through 71. So Robert's our expert.
The expert.
Yeah, but
I know enough to get me in trouble. So
yeah, but he makes some lovely stuff though, homemade and everything. Beats me even. I even make my own homemade records, but Robert P is like bomb. He's got everyone beat. He does magical stuff. So I'm very pleased to have him as a pal. He's everyone's pal. Okay, so I was going to ask you, Harry, something, and now I forgot. Got up to something else.
happens to me all the time.
What's Robert P saying? In Canada, they used the Red Target in 71. Never used the Apple except for the White Album. Oh.
Okay, so Canadian have different pressings.
Yeah, well, we even had different issues for the Beatles albums because in Canada, Capitol Canada latched onto the Beatles before U.S. Capitol did and started putting out records before America did.
Probably we were being a little stingy over here.
Well, Capitol,
they had to put them out. So
Capitol U.S. was a little like, these guys aren't going to sell over here. Come on.
Yeah. There was a great documentary in the 80s, the Complete Beatles, that I always liked. about a 2-hour video on it. I always thought that was a good one.
Would you like to tell Robert what do you do? He sees all kinds of stuff.
What do I do? I've been a collector my whole life, but as a professional, I work at a hospital. I'm maintenance, so that's what I do. And then as soon as I hit the door, I'm ready to treasure hunt. This week, I had a week that I picked up nothing. I got a typewriter up in Philadelphia, but she's supposed to meet me next week. I'm hoping she holds it for me because it's a 1907. It's cool. I want it. It's in its case. It's in fantastic shape. I'm going to see if she'll meet me this weekend. She says, I can meet you up towards the airport somewhere. So that's where I'm going to meet her. I said, pick a gas station and I'll pick it up there. And it's a great pickup. So
yeah, what kind of typewriter was it? What brand?
I think it's called Corona, almost just like the beer.
Like Smith Corona.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. But this is just before. I don't know if they merged down the road. I had a Smith Corona one, so
it's one of those ones with the big keys up front.
No, this is a little guy. It's a carry case one.
It's got the big hammers on it.
No, there are the big boat anchor ones, but this is a small one, so it'll be easy to ship. So I grab those all the time when I see them. I grab sewing machines too, the carry case ones.
Oh, it's kind of like the very first portable typewriter.
Yes. Well, they probably started. Who knows? They've been around for a while too. There's some cool ones out there. There's an Oliver that comes in. And the keys are on this like this, and they're coming in like that to whack. No, they go like that. They whack the paper like that. So.
Oh yeah, we used to have old typewriters around. You sit there and go.
Yeah.
All the hammers were just go like this, and
jam.
And you have to try it, prime all apart and stuff. And of course, putting the ribbons on those things used to be a pain too. So.
Well, that's even a collectible. Those cans that the ribbon came in. Some of them can get prices.
Robert says so many kids in college before COVID were looking to go retro and get typewriters. His nephew wanted ones from the 60s.
I had an orange one that I got I got the asking price. I think it was 170 some bucks, and I paid $10 for it at a yard sale. So,
wow,
it might have even been $5 because I remember taking a shot on it but I did not know it was that valuable till I got it home and I'm starting to look at it. I said, I'll be damned, look at that. And that was rats. I forget what it is.
Are you looking to sell Charlie McCarthy?
No, he stays with me.
He's not going anywhere.
No, he's part of the show. Now they're all doing all these resellers. I've got, the nurse puts hers there. And, there's another woman that has one too, but he don't have pants. So I'm the original.
One man's trash, another's treasure for sure.
Let me tell you, I went and picked trash a couple times, and I very, very lucrative because one, I seen a guy, he had a bunch of electronics. So I said, hold on to it, I'm coming. So I got all the electronics, and she said, you want laptops? So she brought out a crate of them. They were broken, still getting $50 a piece. I sold every one of them on eBay. Another time I jumped in a dumpster, I pulled 2 machinist chests out. I pulled money out. They threw bags of quarters out. I found so much. I found sterling silver, a whole shoebox full. I sold that for $800. I found a gold tooth inside a thing with a couple silver coins. They threw it all in the dumpster, and I was just picking it out right and left. There's a video of it. I don't show the money. You'll see the china I picked out, a whole stamp collection that all sold. I didn't get much for that. Might have made $100 off all the stamps. But there's an old video of me when I did it. And the machinist box, I probably sold too cheap, $150 for the stuff. The only thing I kept was in there was the USS Enterprise 1945 trench arc bullet from that ship. That was an aircraft carrier that might have been sunk in Midway or might have been one of the ones that survived. I think it survived.
So I would say that you admit you go dumpster diving.
Only 3 times.
Yeah,
Now,
but
one was curbside trash pickup. One, if I see an old radio or something on, if I drove by and it's on the curb, I'm grabbing it. But 2 dumpster dives, and they both were fantastic. So I'll do it again. If I see somebody cleaning out an old house and they said, "Sure, go in there," I'm going in, putting the mask and snorkel on, and in. I'm going.
So hang on, I'm going down here for the
Going down.
You just sit there and just wallow in it. Look what I got. Wow.
People,
I can't imagine anybody throwing out old coins and things.
I picked the camera right out of the case, out of the one that was it's a great big Kodak that folds out, land camera. Not real valuable, $20, but it was there for the taking. Boat engine parts, I put it on eBay for $50. Bam, it sold. It was a Mercury 1953, front to the engine. And if it wasn't all full of glass up top, I would have picked more engine parts out of there. I knew anything old is gold.
You sure find some amazing things, I will say. You know,
I look constantly. If you could see all this stuff from the clock, I got a clock from the Manhattan Project. I'll show you. Let me get that off. That's cool, worth taking off. Look at.
Oh yeah. Remember, don't forget to go to Harry Humstone's channel and subscribe and watch some more of his adventures looking up treasures. Yes. The Machinist Handbook, $2. Sold it to a guy in Japan for $400. There's a good profit.
Ow. So this is the stuff I like a lot. I'll keep this a while longer, but this was on Facebook Marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And bam, I paid $70 for this. He wanted $100. I got it. It works. It lights up. It's from probably the 40s. It was made in Brooklyn, New York. Sunshine Beer Company, Reading, PA. There is a cone top of this. They made this in cans, and there is a cone top. It's probably a $200 can. So that's an awesome piece, and it came out of one of those Manhattan Project buildings that these guys were tearing down. And he told me the story, and he showed me. I still have the paper thing on my phone that he sent me the clip. But this is the cool stuff I'm after. Advertising, just like the pickers.
Oh yeah, well, anything that has the brand name on it, for sure. That's the best stuff to find.
Yeah, it's just awesome stuff. It's fun to pick it up. I picked up crates of albums out of house picks are the best, and anytime I see albums and the mice didn't get to them, I'm taking them home. So.
Yeah, but then you go through them and pick and choose which ones are the best shape and the best.
Well, actually, I've sold every album that I've got from a house. I've sold. What I have back here now is mostly the ones that I had as a kid, and that was always big. I had a monster album collection because I was big into rock and roll for years. So.
Well, you have a house full of treasures for sure. I can imagine if somebody ever broke in, they'd have a field day.
There's always somebody here. So
yikes.
If somebody broke in here, it's because it would be somebody I knew. Because most of the stuff now, if people came in here, they would take jewelry, and they may bust this stuff to vandalize, but that's it. They wouldn't know an insulator from a pair of sneakers with laces in it, because everybody's Velcro now. So they would see it as trash. So
yeah, they just don't know the value of the stuff that's in your place right now.
No, they don't. That's why I always keep a dog on the loose, and some with the COVID thing, always somebody's here now, so I don't even have to deal with it. So
And besides, you've got a wicked guard dog.
absolutely, you'll
Yeah.
see her in my videos sometimes. Very vicious.
I know. I'm hundreds of miles away, and I'm afraid of him.
So, hey, Doc, thank you for having me on. Though,
Not a problem. I've been wanting to have you on for a long time anyway. So
we'll have to do it again sometime.
yeah. So hey, all you people out there, check out Harry Humstone. This way, that way, that way. Check out Harry Humstone. See what he's up to. See what the magic of hunting for treasures turns out to be. He's got some magical stuff in that house. Just
Yeah, you got any questions? I'm on Instagram as Jam Dad. So don't go if you see something. Doesn't mean it's worth a mint. So PM me if you can, and maybe I can answer your question. I look on there my phone, but feel free. I'll try to help you out. If you see something you like, you never know. You might
never know.
treasure. So you might go over an uncle's house, and in his garage is all these glass things. What are these? What are these? Let's go shoot them. No. They're worth value. Let's talk. So,
and if he doesn't have it today, he may have it next week. You never know.
you don't. I'll tell you, you don't know what I'm going to find. I find
That's why
something different.
you got to go check out Harry and see what he's up to, and just be thrilled at the stuff he finds, and amazed too. So thanks, Harry, for coming on. We'll catch you later. All right.
Hey, thank you, and
Right.
everybody have a great and safe weekend. So, peace.
Peace.
All right.
Bye.